Hi, my name is Maddie Wisnat, and I'm a product manager at Xbox working on discovery experiences for games and gaming content in the Xbox storefronts. My pronouns are she, her, and I have brown curly hair and am wearing a white shirt with orange and black speckles on it. My top 3 favorite games, at least right now, are Stardew Valley, Hades, and BioShock. I am passionate about helping creators like you find an audience for their game, which is why today I'm going to talk about how you as a creator can help your game get discovered by adding richer data about your game during the publishing process. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the gaming metadata we have live today, the experiences on our Xbox endpoints that light up when this data is added, and the impact it's had on our audience. I'll also be walking through how you can tag your game in the publishing process. And last but not least, I will cover some of the exciting data categories that we are working on lighting up in the future. To kick us off, I wanted to give a quick overview of gaming metadata and how I feel it fits into Xbox's mission to reach 3 billion players across the globe. At Xbox, we want to make gaming for everyone, including making our platform one where everyone feels like they belong, both creators and players. Gaming metadata's mission is to be one of the tools creators have to help them reach and connect with an audience for their game. Tactically, gaming metadata is Xbox's program that allows publishers to add optional, richer data about their games during the publishing process, and as a result, find new fans. The live data categories that we have today are supported languages and accessibility features. Supported languages are all of the different languages that your game has been translated into. We split this out into 3 aspects: interface, which are the various menus of your game; subtitles; and audio, which covers any dialogue throughout your game that has been translated. Accessibility features include common accessibility features in 4 groups: audio, for example, spatial audio; visual, for example, subtitles; gameplay, such as adjustable difficulty; and input, which includes features like input remapping. I'll give a bit more info on accessibility features specifically later on as well. So you might be thinking, great, that sounds awesome, but what are the current experiences that I unlock when I add this data? And that's a great question. We often run campaigns that feature games with accessibility features or supported languages data. Here is an example of a collection that is live on our digital stores today that highlight games with more than 4 accessibility features. We've also run cultural campaigns, such as Hispanic Heritage Month, that featured games that were translated into Spanish. And even when we aren't running active campaigns, this data lives throughout our Xbox experiences. Here's an example of the Sea of Thieves product detail page that users view before making their decision to acquire, whether that be installing the game via Game Pass or purchasing it. As you can see, the accessibility feature badge and supported languages badge are up front and center alongside the other important information about the game. And when users see those badges, they know they can navigate down the product detail page and deep dive into the features and languages the game supports to know if it meets their needs. And these experiences aren't just limited to the console, but are also present on Xbox.com and the Xbox app for PC. Here's a snapshot of the Sea of Thieves product detail page on Xbox.com that again shows the badges. And lastly, we've just enabled these as filters on the Xbox console store so that our users can filter their searches based on this data. And we are actively working on expanding that functionality to all of our platforms. So why is this important? And why are we doing this? I want to dig into the amazing impact that supported languages and accessibility features have had for our players, and by extension, creators so far. Based on an Xbox user research study, 23% of our players on Xbox identify as having one or more disabilities. However, in a recent study from Ubisoft, they found that for any given game they publish, 60 to 90% of players utilize accessibility features. That is a pretty amazing statistic and speaks to how accessibility features are impactful, not only for the gaming and disability community, but for the gaming community as a whole. Personally, I use adjustable difficulty all the time because I love gaming, but I am definitely not good. On top of that, our players are located across the globe. Newzoo released a study that shows Asia-Pacific region has the most players of any region on the planet, and that Latin America is the fastest growing market in gaming. Now, I'm not going to do the math right now, but I think it's safe to say that when you develop your game with this in mind, and then add this metadata when you publish, you are creating a huge potential audience for your game. So enough with the data. I now want to talk about the amazing impact these features have had for our players. Here is a quick snapshot of the excitement we saw from our players when we released supported languages. This was crucial information for players to understand what games they could even play. To quote one of the tweets, Xbox Game Store is now showing supported language information. Yes. And the excitement and resonating positive reaction from the gaming and disability community for our accessibility features honestly made all of the hard work and long hours we had put in to make it happen worth it. As one person tweeted, "Am I getting emotional over the smallest things today? Depends on what you call small, because this is a big deal and I can't wait to use it." Another one said, "Heck yes, this is something I've talked about before, but this is a super important accessibility feature that most stores should have, but don't. So happy to see this coming to the Microsoft Store for Xbox." We also won an award from the popular gaming website Can I Play That for the biggest accessibility surprise. I highlight these to show how much this data means to players and how much it can mean to you as a creator when you add this data and open doors to these communities. So by now, I hope I've convinced you to first develop and produce your games with this in mind. And then when you're ready to release your game to the world, add this data to your game during the publishing process. And I want to walk you through how you can do that. Your first step is to go to Microsoft Partner Center and navigate to the gaming publishing flow. Next, navigate to the Gaming Metadata tab. There you have the option to import tags from another one of your games. You can use this option if you want to import tags from an existing configuration. For example, if you have another edition for the same game that you are publishing and want to reuse it. If you don't want to import, you can dismiss this screen to access the Accessibility and Supported Languages tabs. From there, you can check your accessibility features in languages you support. And we've heard from you that this isn't as useful as it could be, so I wanted to share an exciting snapshot of the improvements we are currently working on to make this experience great. First, our plan is to make the user experience clearer as to which categories of data you can add. Next, when you select a category, we will show the definitions or any tips we have to help you fill it out next to the tags themselves. For example, here you can see that when you select an accessibility feature category, like audio features, we show the definition and the criteria of that feature next to the checkbox. I don't have a release date for this yet, but just know that we're working on it. As a quick aside, I wanted to mention that to ensure consistency and quality for the gaming and disability community, we do validate accessibility features when they're added to your game. We don't pause or slow down the publishing process. How our process works is that after you add the features and publish your game, we play your game and validate that those accessibility features meet our definition and criteria for them. If we find any corrections that need to be made after the tags are added, we will send a note to you with those corrections. Accessibility feature tag definitions and their criteria can be found at aka.ms/AFTS. And don't hesitate to reach out to our help email if you have any questions about accessibility. And that email is xpaq@microsoft.com. Our team is truly eager to help with anything related to accessibility for your game. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your XFest.